All right, Hazel, you ready for some quickfire questions?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Do you have any projects you're working on or planning to work on next?
I think the main project for me is growing a human.
Yeah, no climbing projects?
Probably on hold for a bit, I would say.
What about when you're getting rid of your weight vest? Are you planning on getting on something? Using that mother strength,
I think the main project, I think more of a process than a project, but just get better at bouldering, because I think it's one thing you can do a bit easier as a parent, and it's something I've probably not focused on loads in my climbing, so that's probably the next thing.
What is the most sandbagged route you've ever climbed or tried to climb?
There's tons of boulder problems that just feel so sandbagged to me, because you know, like I'm not super powerful and I'm short, so like, you know, if anything's kind of morpho, it feels really sandbag. Well, but I can't think of one in particular.
You've climbed 9A. I would say you're pretty powerful. I've done that 9A too, by the way, and I thought it was hard. It was really hard.
Well, that's good to hear.
What are the worst conditions you've ever climbed in?
Definitely in Greenland. There was like, we freed, the first wall that we free climbed, it was like, I think it was like -10, but like with a wind chill of -30. And we had to like wake up in the portaledge, and I was so cold that like my brain wasn't even functioning super well. I was like shaking from the cold, and then you know, have to take your gloves off, you have to take your warm boots off and put climbing shoes on, and then I was like, it was like this crack climb, and I was like jamming my fingers in the crack. And then
you weren't climbing with ice axes, we're actually climbing? Okay, wow.
Free climbing, and it was pretty brutal.
Yeah. What is your favorite way to celebrate your climbing achievements?
I'm kind of chill in terms of the celebration. I think just like feeling good. You know, like I'm not like the person that goes to the bar and gets drunk. I don't really love getting drunk. You know, I'm actually quite a chill, boring person.
I remember when we were in Spain, we would have like either like an expensive bottle of red wine or champagne, and we would write the name of the route, so we could open it when we finished the route. That's it. I think it's a pretty good incentive. By expensive, I mean like €5 or 10 euros, but yeah.
Maybe I'll start doing that.
Not right now though, probably.
No, true.
How would you describe your climbing style?
Yeah, probably mostly technical, less powerful, probably slower than most people.
Has it changed over the years, would you say?
I think I've got more powerful, like from board climbing mostly. I've become a bit more dynamic, because I came from trad climbing, which was super slow. When
you're trad climbing, you're knocking on the holes before grabbing them, right?
Totally.
To make sure that
you're like locking off, you're static, you're climbing carefully.
All right, which climbing destination would you like to visit but never have?
I'd really like to go to Madagascar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that the only place?
Oh, there's loads of places.
Yeah, but that's on top of your list?
That's the one I'm thinking of right now.
Pretty dangerous though, isn't it?
I'd love to go to Japan as well. More just like cultural experience as well.
What's the most common mistake you see people make when it comes to working on fear of falling?
So I think the main thing people do is they push themselves too hard. They fall in a state where they're like super stressed. You know, they'll close their eyes, they grab the rope, they tense up. And then that can be dangerous, but also all it does really is like further ingrain their fear of falling. It tells their nervous system, okay, I'm not safe where I am. So yeah, basically people are over-challenging themselves.
Okay. I thought you had to challenge yourself and be really scared to get over the fear of falling. So I've been wrong all these years. I've pushed so many beginners to do like, just take a fall and you'll get over the fear, but it's quite the opposite then.
It's quite the opposite, I mean, you have to challenge yourself, but to the right amount. You know, it's like physical training, right? You've got to get the stimulus right, and it's the same with mental training. You can't overtrain, you can't undertrain. You've got to get it just right.
And we're here working on Hazel's course on fear of falling. And you can get a free sneak peek if you click the link below. And you can learn more about the course by going to altitudeclimbing.com. What is the best advice anyone has ever given you?
I think probably like my dad told me really young that if you weren't falling off, you weren't trying hard enough.
Oh, okay. Did your dad have the same approach with like not pushing you too much, or?
No, he pushed me pretty hard.
And it worked out for you?
Yeah, although I did almost quit climbing when I was a teenager because I got super scared.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah, I think there's a personality thing, you know, like some people do really well, like being pushed really hard mentally, and a lot of people don't though.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to read the room a bit. I think the main takeaway is like, you know, the main thing is you've got to challenge yourself to a certain point, right? And if you never fall, it means you're not challenging yourself enough.
How did you find adapting to all of the non-climbing aspects of being a pro climber, such as media, sponsors, etc.?
At first I found all that stuff pretty hard. I don't know if you remember this, we're of a similar generation. Do you remember you writing your first Facebook status? It terrified me.
Facebook status, yeah, but I don't know if it was about climbing, yeah, but I remember opening a page, like a fan page, and even that was a little bit like intimidating, or like, I don't know, who do you think you are kind of thing.
Totally, yeah.
Having a profile. What type of training do you think more people would benefit from?
Well, I'm biased on this, but I definitely think people would benefit more from mental training.
Yeah.
I mean, not just in terms of fear of falling, but also in terms of performance psychology, fear of failure. You know, everything you watch on TV in any sport, it's usually always someone's mindset that holds them back, you know, whether it's golf or driving, you know, like race car stuff.
Yeah.
It's usually their mindset and how they approach performance that's the thing that limits them. So I think that's the thing that people should probably, it's the most neglected area, I think, of training.
Do you have any TV guilty pleasures?
I know, we're pretty into Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon things.
Well, those are good shows.
Yeah, they're good shows. Yeah. I don't know, I'm pretty into, I think I'm into
Desperate Housewives or...
No. Angus,
Come on.
what was my bad one?
Filling up my Netflix account with bad
But that's bad in your mind, it's not bad
Emily
in...
Paris.
Oh yeah, Emily in Paris. It's pretty bad.
I haven't heard of that.
It's a pretty bad show.
Okay.
Suits is pretty
Suits
bad.
is good. Oh, that's good.
I never actually saw
See,
it.
his standards are super high, so he thinks I just watch
Suits,
shows.
the show about lawyers and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's has won awards and stuff, yeah. Is there a route you'd love to climb but are afraid to? If yes, what is it?
I can't think of one.
Have you done all the climbs in the Peak District?
I've done hardly any climbs in the Peak District.
Oh, really? What makes you avoid? I mean, I totally get it, but I wouldn't get on any of those, but...
For me, the Gritstone routes, it's like the motivation to do them doesn't match like the risk I'd have to take of like breaking my legs.
Yeah.
And they're pretty reachy. Like if you're short, you have to be really dynamic, and that makes them even riskier.
Yeah.
So I'm not super inspired.
It's just not worth it for you?
Yeah, kind of.
What advice would you give to a new trad climber?
Advice for a new trad climber, to take it slow. I mean, I know again I'm biased, but work on your head game and really learn to trust your gear, and don't just do that by climbing, do it by like experimenting and like, you know, placing gear, putting your weight on it, maybe taking some falls on your gear, but doing it, you know, in a safe way, maybe with instruction, but don't just like go up through the grades, you know, just like be intentional about learning to trust your gear.
What inspired you to get into working with people to overcome the fear of falling?
So I was always interested in psychology and sort of like, you know, the state of mind that we're in when we climb and kind of how that affects our performance. And then I guess I kind of just noticed that the main distraction for people is usually fear of falling.
Yeah.
And then I was like, why is no one talking about this? Like, why is no one helping people with this? Yeah. So I just kind of like, big part of it was just like I saw this need. I saw a kind of demand in climbing to teach people, help people, talk more about it. And like the thing that kept me going is like seeing what that could do to someone's enjoyment of the sport. You know, like so many people are not enjoying it because they're too scared. And so it's so cool to see someone just go from like enjoying it this much to enjoying it that much because they've worked on their fear of falling.
What would be your dream non-climbing related sponsor?
Some kind of like electric van sponsor. You know, like a really pimp electric van.
What is your favorite way of rest recovery?
Favorite way to, I honestly just chilling. Like I actually am quite a chiller, you know, like watch TV, maybe some yoga, sleeping well, just, low stress mentally, doing not much physically.
Watching Suits?
Yeah, watching Suits, yeah.
Do you take any comfort/luxury items with you on expeditions?
When I went to Greenland, I took a huge bag of cheese.
What kind of cheese?
There's just lots of different British cheese, like, you know, with the wax around, like quite nice fancy cheese, like vintage cheddar cheese.
Yeah, how much did that weigh?
A couple of kilos.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't carry it with me the whole way. We
Yeah.
had like drop-offs and stuff, and everyone was taking the piss out of me. They were like, "What? You know, we're here for 6 weeks. It's going to go bad. Like, what are you?" And then, but if you eat freeze-dried food for 6 weeks and you taste a piece of cheese, you're psyched. And so everyone was really jealous of my cheese.
What non-climbing activity has made the biggest difference in your climbing?
Okay, this might sound weird, but meditation.
Yeah. No, but that doesn't sound, I think a lot of climbers meditate, you know. Yoga is popular among climbers, I would say. If you could go back in time and change anything about your climbing career, what would you change?
So that's a good question. We actually just did a YouTube video about this on our Strongman YouTube. And I think the top one, like, I guess because I've been pregnant, I've been thinking quite a bit about my career up to this point. And so it's like a nice reflection moment. And I think the top one is that I would like ask for help sooner. So like for so long in my climbing, I never had a coach, like any physical trainer or anything like that. I think when you're younger, you're like trying to save money and stuff, and you don't really invest in your climbing. But I think that I totally should have. You know, I got a coach sooner, basically.
Right. So like investing in yourself, basically.
Yeah.
What's your biggest weakness in climbing?
Biggest weakness has got to be power, for sure. Just pure
Upper
pulling.
arm, pulling. Oh.
Like I did the lattice testing thing, you know,
right,
and it like before I climbed 9A, and like I was in the like lowest percentile for like power for like a 9A climber.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. But your fingers are pretty strong though, right?
Yeah, for that I was like in the middle.
Yeah. What is your favorite crag snack?
Oh, favorite crag snack. I mean, we're pretty into chocolate, like good chocolate, dark chocolate.
Oh.
But it's not my favorite crag snack. I don't know. I don't really have one. Maybe
Cheese?
No, cheese is just for expeditions.
Okay.
You know, when you really need the calories and the weight and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I'm a bit boring. Maybe just, at the moment we're into French pastries because we're in France, but.
Were you interested in psychology or climbing first?
Climbing first. Yeah, I started climbing like 5, 6, and my dad was a climber, so it was like always just part of my life, like my concept of the world included climbing. And then really I was interested in psychology because I could just see how much of a difference it made in climbing, and then that, you know, segued that way.
Nice. Well, those were all the questions. If you want to master the fear of falling, you should go to altitudeclimbing.com to get notified when the course drops, and also you can get a free sneak peek by going to the link below. All right, thanks. And now we're going to do a session, I think, right?
Something
Something like that. Yeah.